What's up, everybody? Welcome to Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. I am your host, Jeff J. Your other host on the other side of the screen is Krissy Bree, and we are here to recap another episode of Queen's Excellence, aka Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 2, Reaping and Sowing. Krissy, what's going on?
What is good, my friend? It's good to be back. I love it.
I love it too. And as you see on the bottom of the screen, follow Power After Hours, all social media platforms, subscribe anywhere you get podcasts, and right here on YouTube. Always remember, turn on your notifications so that you know when we're going live and when we drop all new videos. So we got another episode in the books. You still around?
I'm still here, and I mean, I don't feel like I'm going anywhere anytime soon. So we here. How are you? You still there?
We locked in. Locked in. Like I really like where it's going. And before I go off on why I'm still here, for those of you that are watching right now live with us, and for those of you who are watching on the replay, leave us a comment. Get the chat popping. We had a great time last week, and we want to do it again. You are a part of the show, so send us all your comments. We'll get them up on the screen. We'll comment and key along with you and all of that. All right. So yeah, this episode, you know what? I like this episode because it was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The repercussions and the fallout from episode 1 was pretty swift, where in previous books of Power and previous early seasons, they might have stretched it out a bit, especially like you think about season 1 in Power. There was only about 6 or 8 episodes, I think, from season 1. So they wanted to be heavy hitting, but they also wanted to build the story. This one, you get the immediate effects of what happens when you get into grown folks' business. And Kanan found out the hard way.
Well, Kanan kind of found out the hard. He don't know the full ramifications of what he's done, but I mean, there's no reason to delay it at this point. I mean, we already know the future of Kanan, right? So it's just like, listen, what's going to happen because of what he did? I was here for it. I love the characters in this show. Everybody is on one. Like, we're getting to see how everything is starting to unfold from that one dumb ass decision that Kanan made. And like you said, stay out of all those business. I was definitely that person who hung out with the adults, thought I was grown, doing something. Because you know, the Haitian parties, you always want to see what the adults doing. That was me. And every time I got in trouble. So me and Kanan, we here. I see you, brother. I didn't kill nobody though.
No, you didn't, allegedly, or really, you didn't. But we gonna talk about it. So last episode, Kanan and his boy D-WIZ, ride or die D-WIZ, which
ride or die, right?
A bad omen when you are ride or die. People glorified the riding, but they don't really emphasize the dying part because it could actually happen, right? So we find out the fallout from him and D-WIZ rolling up and killing Buck 20. Yeah. So the streets are hot. Kanan and his mom Rock are on red alert, right? Where Kanan is kind of acting like, yo, this is the everyday thing. Like, we go through this. This is what y'all go through. So I'm not really shook by it. But Moms knows the real deal and wants him out of the way. It's a twofold, right? On one side, she wants Kanan. She knows Kanan is going to have to be involved. So she wants Kanan off the streets and out of the heat while stuff tends to die down. But on the other end knows they ain't gonna stop until there's retribution paid.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole point of the entire episode. They kept saying over and over, we need a body. Like, there has to be a body. And I know there was actually a season of Power where that was a thing too, where they needed a body to rectify the situation that had taken place. Like, at this point, we knew it can't be Kanan, right? So we knew there was gonna have to be a body. We just didn't know which one. It just so happened that our boy had to take a fall. But hey, I will say at least he did get the best night ever. At the very least, got a good night before it popped off. But there was no way that something wasn't going to be able to happen. Unique kept saying called off his people, which I'm not really sure he actually did. But at the end of the day, somebody had to pay for the death, Buck 20. It had to happen.
Right. And you know what's funny? I don't think Unique was all the way lying. I don't think he was lying. I think he called his people off.
Oh.
But what he's been saying the past 2 episodes is Buck 20's people are the one that want the retribution. So in this war games that we're playing, we can't be held accountable for the way civilians move. If his family wants revenge, I'm not going to step in the way of that. But y'all got to figure it out. What was the line he said? The streets need a body.
Streets need a body.
The streets need a body.
And that's real.
This is what Rock knew. If someone didn't go down for Buck 20's murder, people were going to start talking and inquiring and finding out. And if you were anywhere close to where he was gunned down, you were a suspect. Yeah. You were a suspect and you were going to get pressed.
I mean, at the end of the day, I know at the end of the day, they was both shooting. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been, we don't know who really killed Buck 20. So it's just like, okay, like I don't really feel bad for losing D-WIZ. Like, yeah, was it wrong? I mean, he's a kid. He is a kid. But at the end of the day, he still made that decision. He was the ride or die. He wanted to ride out with Kanan. He's the one that brought Kanan the information as well, if you remember, because Kanan wasn't the one that saw them on the street. He was brought that information and got hot about it. So, I mean, what you want to do?
Right. I mean, I hear you. I mean, it wasn't like we're going to get the forensic evidence with the bullets and the recovered guns to know whose bullet actually hit. Because, these are kids. So I kind of think it might have been D-WIZ because Kanan wasn't shooting guns like that. And you can know what to do. Even with D-WIZ's story about his brother and his brother who just came home from upstate. So you can see he's coming from a home where real things go down. Right. And I'm sure his brother indirectly or directly exposed him to what he was going through. And someone who's that about it knows that they're doing something. They're up to some kind of activity. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, what y'all think about Kanan and D-WIZ, how that whole situation went down. We getting your comments up. We checking you out. Let's see who we got so far. Kramer Breach, new sub. I really enjoyed last week's recap. Kramer, thank you so much for tapping in. Thank you. I can't appreciate you enough. And everybody else who's watching for the first time, who's here for the first time, who subscribed for the first time. Keep the party going. Yay. Tyrone, what's going on, Tyrone? Kanan mom and uncle are ruthless. If Kanan wasn't family, him and D-WIZ would be sharing a grave.
I never lied.
Roz says she was big mad. That's a fact. And let's get to that because this is the seed in the diner. I love this diner because this is like the gangster Cheers. Yeah. Right? This is the spot where they meet up to eat, to crack jokes, and to strategize their business. Right? So they're in the Lulu, Marvin, and Rock are in the diner and they're talking about what just went down. Right. What happened? Rock just gave up all them corners to Unique, really to save Kanan from some boneheaded move. Marvin don't like it. Rock is saying that's my son. I do it 10 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? She would hold down Kanan regardless. Yeah. And that is what it is. So when they're talking about what to do, she tells Lulu, we're gonna have to pull a Reggie Jackson. And it's funny because the whole time she said a Reggie Jackson, I was like, okay, I know this means they're going to kill somebody, but why are they calling it Reggie Jackson? Yeah, it took me a while, but then I was like, because it's a hit.
It's a hit. It's a hit.
We're putting a hit on it. We're trying to see if there's a score.
Yeah. And at the end, it's like a home run. I was like, okay.
I was like, it's
we were
deep.
Marvin. You and me, we Marvin, because Marvin didn't know what the fuck was going on. Marvin was like, can I just get my food? I'm having a party. Okay, like what do you do, Marvin, other than drive around? Because clearly, your priorities ain't right.
Right. Let's talk about that power that there's a lot of dynamics in play
Yes.
with Rock and her relationships, right? First, within her family, you could tell this was somebody who took the point because she was best for the job. But if this was anybody else's call, it wouldn't have been her. It would have been a man, just because they think women wouldn't have been able to run this drug game. Or at that time, any business really. Like if you think there's hurdles to overcome now, 20, 30 years ago, it was even worse.
Right.
It was even worse. So imagine this in an illicit game, and you have Marvin, who really, Marvin is here for vibes. He ain't here for work. He ain't here for calculating how to increase sales. He's here for vibes. Vibes alone.
Where the party at? That's all he wants. That's all Marvin wants. Where the party at? He likes to ride the wave of the good times. Now he just wants to be where the party is, having a grand old time. Y'all take care of the dirt. I'm gonna handle the fact that we got money and make it look good. That's it.
Yeah, 100%, and you can see Lulu is like her right hand.
Absolutely.
Right? She's the right and Martin's the left. So with him, she knows when business needs to be taken care of, I'm going to Lulu, because they're the ones who are running it right now. Yeah. And Marvin is there as family, as low key muscle. You know what I'm saying? And jokes and vibes. That's what it is. So that's why every time he's like, what y'all talking about? He's like, we talking about business. And he's like, oh,
all right. Fuck this business. Question nothing. We don't want to know. He just want to eat and party. That's it.
Yeah, man. That's
all. That's all. We got a Marvin in our family, though. Everybody got a Marvin.
Right. Someone who's, but let's keep it real. You need the people for the vibes. You do need the people for the vibes. The vibe makers are appreciated. Not when you have to conduct actual business, but when vibes are required, the vibe makers are the upper echelon of people that you want around you.
They always know what's going down and the best place to be.
Right. So, all right, let's see what y'all talking about. What's up, Miss Coffee? Kanan would not have had the guns if it wasn't for D-WIZ anyway. You see, this is why y'all are the ride or die. That's why you can't be all the way loyal. Because when something goes down, you'll be like, oh, well, you was the one who supplied the guns.
You know what I mean?
But he wouldn't have supplied the guns if Kanan didn't say, "Yo, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that."
Kanan went off the cuff. Kanan was like, "Oh, we got to handle this, man. We got to do this." Kanan was emotional as hell, and D-WIZ was just there for his friend.
Exactly. They say Marvin is about to put in work. He will get his hands dirty. He gonna have to eventually to own his keep. You know what I'm saying?
If he does, I think it's gonna have to do with the old girl from the club, because he seems to be a little fixated.
Right. I knew D-WIZ. What's up, Jalil? I knew D-WIZ was dying since last week, but I thought Rock would just give him up to Unique. I didn't have that vibe. I just knew someone was gonna get hit, and this is the comfort level, I will say, about a prequel for a character that you already know. Yeah, we know for a fact, unless we on some low-key variant shit, we know for a fact that Kanan is making it out.
Yeah.
I think the story that we need to watch is who doesn't make it out with him.
Yeah.
And how they meet their end, and how it shapes who Kanan eventually ends up being. Because this man was ruthless. He did his bid, did his time as soon as he stepped out of jail and went out with Sean, he was already putting the chess moves in place. Yep. And the whole time we're watching Power, we're like, yo, this man only cares about certain things. Mm-hmm. And he will literally take out anybody, even the people that he cares about most, to justify his means and meet his end goal. So what the hell happened? And Power Book 3 Raising Kanan is what happened. And I am so interested to see the rest of the dominoes fall.
Yeah, because it's character development. Like for me, even this whole episode, we were watching Kanan be real naive, right? Eating his breakfast like he didn't just kill somebody. I mean, somebody is dead, and you over here talking about where my eggs, where my bacon. But and then not realizing that you do have to be on your P's and Q's, because nigga, you killed somebody, and it's just like he's just not realizing. And Rock is trying to tell him, yeah, I took you out shooting, but there's still a process. You still got to learn. You still got to go through it and take it step by step. And that's one thing I can say I love about Rock is she's not just throwing him in there because he killed somebody. He still has to learn the game. You can't be naive to the, the A's and the B's. Then you want to be on the Y and Z. Like there's a lot of stuff in between that she's trying to teach. I know you're going to pull that clip. I can't stand you. There's a lot of stuff that she got to teach him in between.
15 minutes. Krissy Bree dropping the know the ledge. She said you can't be it on the A's and B's and trying to automatically go to the Y's and Z's because you know what happened? You start elemental P'ing. And when you elemental P'ing, you're not on your P's and Q's.
I can't stand you. Can y'all tell I have a young child over here doing ABCs?
Yo, listen, I overstand where you're coming from. Like you just, my third eye, I gotta close it because it don't look good on camera, but my third eye is wide open right now. You really like, I am so upset that I knew exactly what you meant, by the way.
Oh my God, I was trying to make a point. I was trying to make a point.
You did, y'all, if y'all in the chat right now, let me know if Krissy made a point, if you was feeling her, if you understand where Sister Krissy is coming from. If you're watching this on the replay, drop a comment and let her know that you understand the day's mathematics and you are doing the proper calculations. But seriously though, seriously. Kanan at the stash house. The minute he went to the stash house, I said, this is a babysitting effort.
Oh yeah.
Because we've all been through it. We've all been through it at some point where we want to roll with the adults. We want to roll with our older brothers, our older cousins, our older friends. And they put us in a situation where we know this ain't how you roll, but you're simulating how it is. Yeah. And I just got to post up. Like maybe you the person that sits outside all day. Maybe you the person that has to do store runs or whatever. But this is what it was. And Kanan really thought he was going to work. When Scrap had to blow it up, like, yo, you're really not smart. Like, you really don't see the game that's going on. And this is not what smart. It is. Kanan is so naive because he's a kid. Like, he's street smart, but he's not game smart. Because he doesn't know the game. If you grow up in certain hoods, you get a lesson. You get an accelerated lesson on how to move and how to operate so that part of your naivety is gone. But the actual game and what people are trying to do is like he can't see it. He can't see it because he's so laser focused on getting into the game and earning his keep that his mom, rightfully so, put him away at the stash house so that he could be away from the streets and all the heat that was being brought to him.
Yeah, because it's like, bro, what do you think you know? Just because you know how they speak and you can decipher the language, that doesn't mean you understand all, everything that goes into what Rock is doing. And, this whole time you brought up the fact that, a lot of times they don't want women in the front. We're seeing that also, with book 2 and Mary J. Blige's character. And so, they always think that women can't run the game, but Rock, we saw in this episode, made a hardcore decision. Anytime you're going into it and you're saying, we got a Reggie Jackson, a kid, that's not an easy thing to do, especially when you are a mother who seemingly loves her son that much. And then she set the whole thing in motion too. You know what I mean? She asked questions. She wanted to know about, how things popped off. D-WIZ got the guns. Oh, his brother's back, right? Like, she did it in such a way where it was like, damn, I didn't catch it at first. But once I realized what she was doing, I was like, oh, so we do need a body. But it's not going to be Kanan's body. But unfortunately, because you his boy, you rolled with him, collateral damage.
Right. And, it's so many things, so much that I see with it where Rock does love her son, but she loves her son more than she loved D-WIZ. And these are the tough decisions that have to be made when you're in this business. Let's see what y'all are saying. The streets need a body, basically mean Unique and his crew want a body to equal the score. And Unique don't care who it is. At the end of the day, he got the bread. I wouldn't even be surprised if he didn't even give Buck 20 family that bread. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't give Buck 20 family that bread. But he don't care because if you remember last episode, he was already saying our subordinates should not be asking us certain questions.
Correct.
So I don't like, we had an agreement, but it was breached not by your word, but by your blood. So now I need those streets, and now I can't have them looking at me funny. So if this is not rectified a certain way, you gonna see. And it's not gonna be the outcome that you want.
Right.
This is a grimy. What's up, Dan? This is a grimy episode. We only got 8 more to go.
Right.
Yeah. It
wasn't right, was it? I was hurt. It's like you knew somebody had to die, but damn. I mean,
what up, food and drink? D-WIZ probably would have got them folk caught up. He was a little too hyped to talk about what happened.
Facts.
That was the other thing.
Yeah,
he
was a talker.
He was chatting. He was doing a lot of chatting, and even Kanan was like, "Yo, you got to calm that down, because you got to remember, these are kids."
Yeah.
And you saw there were kids out there that saw what went down. There was people with buck 20 who dipped when the guns came out. So that's how the rumors start. That's why people are looking at the crews. The first people you're going to look at when something goes down, especially in high school, is everybody who has beef.
Yep.
Everybody who has beef with the person who died. And it was no secret that Kanan and his boys didn't really rock with buck 20 like that. So the math usually maths in the correct way, right? So D-WIZ talking and doing all of that, it made it easier actually for Rock. You know what I mean? It made it actually, and even that scene when Lulu and Rock roll up on Famous and D-WIZ and give him money to go to the spot, and you can see he was like a little nervous, and Rock is looking at it, and it's just like, and then he hears about the brother and everything like that, and it's like you already see that she's kind of like sizing it up. Janelle, this lets you know Rock is about whatever. Tommy, Ghost, and even Kanan has not killed a minor before. I mean, technically, Rock didn't kill a minor,
he didn't,
but she did order the hit on a minor. So yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, this is a different type of ruthlessness, and I think
it is.
Those differences with Tommy, Ghost, and Kanan, right? There was always some type of business involved. And I think even with Kanan, remember when wasn't it him who made Dre kill his mans? And it wasn't like a minor. It wasn't like a minor, but these was like young boys, right? Like younger guys, right? So I do think there's a certain code, but once you get involved in the street activity, then all of that other stuff is out the window.
And I feel like D-WIZ would have been that friend that talked. Like, had he got caught, I feel like he would have been somebody who didn't take long. Like, they could shoot one knee and he would tell the whole story. You know what I
mean? Yeah, I definitely do.
People like that, they're expendable. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, let's see. Ty, what's up, Ty? Raising Kanan is a different type of gritty, and this story is going to unfold differently than the other spinoffs. What do you think about that, Krissy?
I agree, only because we got to see the adult versions of Kanan and Jukebox. So I feel like for them to become the versions of what we saw in the original Power, there has to be some real dark shit that takes place. Like for Kanan, because right now Kanan is still acting like a kid. You understand what I'm saying? He still does things with the mindset of a child. So we've got to see what it is that unfolds that makes him the monster that he was, that we saw. And that goes for Jukebox too. If there's any character that I'm wanting to see evolve, is Jukebox. Because we've yet to see what takes her from the singing, just nice person that she is right now. Like, I really want to know what happened. So I agree with that.
Yeah, let's talk about. I saw a comment, and y'all are sending so many comments. I love it. This is the best.
Yes.
This is the best.
I love
best
this
problem to have. I'll say challenge. That's how we say it in the business. It's a challenge. It's not a problem. But enlightened original man. What's up, King? And Neek snitched on Rock to Howard too. We don't do that. Let's talk about Detective Howard, Mr. Omar Epps. Krissy, what do you think about this man and the way he's moving so far?
Something ain't right. I don't know what he has for Rock. I don't know if they were involved before, if she's hot, like if someone in his family was maybe killed by something that she's done. There's some bad blood there for sure. I just don't know what it is. He's got something out for her in a way, like to the point where you're talking to the other side, like we want you to be the one who reigns in the end. Like that's off. So I know there's got to be something much deeper that we don't know about. Like there's a connection between him and Rock. And I don't want to say that they've been together before. Maybe there was a relationship at some point and she wouldn't leave the game. You know what I mean? But he has definitely got it in for her. So I don't know what it could be. What do you think?
So listening to him talk to Unique and then talk to his partner, right? I liked, and I know I made the comparison. I know people will see it. This is giving very much Denzel in Training Day vibes. The way he was the way he was riding through with his partner. I want to say, damn, what is her name? Let me see if I can find her name. Is it Jessica?
You're so bad with names. You're worse than me.
I mean, I know everybody else's name. I can't know if that's why I have my trusty sheet. I believe it's Burke. Yeah. I think it is Burke. But when she he's trying to like teach her the ways and telling her that she can't come in the spot. And she's like, yo, I went through the academy. I did all of this. I didn't come here to be like your lapdog and to sit in the car, right? And you can see like he's trying to test her, and he's like, yeah, lesson one, don't take shit from nobody. But I think the bigger thing with him, and it was in that conversation that I kind of had this thought, right? He tells her their captain don't care about saving the kids in Southside. They just want to mitigate the chaos, right? And the best way to mitigate that is to implement a system. If there's a system and there's a code, then they know that certain egregious things won't go down. There's always going to be drugs being sold. Right? There's always going to be drugs. There's going to be crime. But when it's organized to an extent with certain rules in place, you know that there won't be a different type of chaos. So when he has that conversation with Unique and he says, one king, one throne, one code, right? He doesn't really care as much who it is, I think, as much as he wants one person with one code in place, so things like young black kids aren't ending up dead. Young black high school kids aren't ending up dead in the street, because what does that do? That makes things hot for everybody. Cops got to do work. Cops got to do paperwork. The streets might get even hotter because there's retaliation, and there's just a ripple effect. The episode is called Reaping and Sowing, right? It's the karmatic effect of what happens, actions and reactions that are happening and reverberating all throughout their neighborhood. And I think he doesn't like, for whatever issue he has with Rock, I guess because she took over for Post and maybe he was working with Post, who knows, or whatever, or he had a relationship, because he's cool enough to roll up into that spot and talk with them. So he's just like, yo, Rock ain't good for your business and she ain't good for us. So you do what you got to do to take Rock out, and I'll handle the rest. Or I'll do what I got to do to get her off the street, and then the rest is for you. So I don't know if he's crooked or he's just somebody who looks at the job as pragmatic and says, this is what's best for everybody. So if we get one of these motherfuckers off the street, then we're good to go.
I still feel like him and Rock has something. He got it. It's too hard for her. Like, it's too hard. I agree with you though, 100%.
Right. Ahmed Ali says, I think he and Rock may have known each other in high school. She may have rejected him from Kanan's father, Defcon. I believe Defcon may have been the OG kingpin of the area. And I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that too, because I think Defcon, I want to learn more about who he was, because he seems he was like the OG who got killed. I believe he got killed, and then Post moved in, and then Post got killed. you know, and then Rock took over for him.
You
So
know who's next.
maybe who knows at this point. Miss Coffee says he's definitely chauvinistic, and that's another dynamic that's in play.
Yeah.
Where you see it throughout the episode, right? With pushback on women in power. Even the whole setup with them going to the bodega, right? Them going to the bodega to set up as like their front house for them to do activity, and they saw the wife that Lulu had spoke to was there with a black eye.
That's not going to end well,
right? And you know, it's like they're looking at it like, all right, this is crazy, but they there for business, so they gotta kind of overlook it. And even the fact when the husband was talking to Lulu, and he like, why you talking to me? He talked to her, and he's kind of looking at the situation like,
talk to her.
What? So I think that's something that you're gonna see. And funny enough, that's kind of what Monet is going on through with Ghost.
Yes.
So you have these powerful female leads and in positions that they normally wouldn't be in, that are having to deal with isms from left and right, and people trying to force their way in to get them off their pedestal.
Yeah, I like seeing the women in control, because, you know, they always say women make emotional decisions, we this, we that. But hey, it seems like Rock is doing the right things, because if Rock was the emotional person, she would have never ordered D-WIZ to be killed. That's a hard decision for a woman, and a mother to make, to kill another child. So she's clearly in the right place, doing the right thing.
Yeah,
well,
100%.
Depends on what you classify as right.
Here's something that's cool about this episode, and Ty brings it up. Mario Van Peebles directed this episode. So let me tell you what's interesting about that. For people who don't know, Mario Van Peebles was in New Jack City, one of the leads in New Jack City. New Jack City is the movie that Kanan and D-WIZ was gonna watch in the crib that night, the night D-WIZ is murdered.
Yeah.
So if you think about the era that New Jack City came out, early 90s, this movie drops. It's a sensationalized version of what's going on in the streets, but for many people, this was like the gangster flicks, the early black gangster flicks of our era. So like you'd have people looking at Scarface and all of that, like this was like our version of that. Not to mention, this was the beginning of the black movie soundtrack era.
Yes.
All right? Like where of a movie was coming out, a movie that was resonating in the culture, New Jack City, you think about even further on in the 90s, like Love Jones, Love and Basketball, Money Talks.
Stood in line for those soundtracks.
Right. These were soundtracks that had classic songs.
Yep. Classic
songs that you would hear from the era, where people approached the soundtracks like it was their album. Right? Yeah. Like it was an event. It was always an event. So you have all of those cultural ties in Mario Van Peebles. And, you know, it was funny because I saw him, shout out to my guy, Miles Jones and Cassius. I saw him interview him on the Power Raising Kanan premiere. And he was just saying, like, it's surreal to see yourself inspiring something. And then it's like all full circle. Right? So it's like the past meets the present meets the future meet the past. So I thought that was a real nice touch to have him directed, as someone who has that eye for how stuff was moving back in the day and being able to visualize it for us now.
Yeah, I agree.
So before we get to D-WIZ and his untimely, let's make a quick detour and talk about JUKEBOX and JUKEBOX's era. JUKEBOX's little scenes. A couple of things that she had connected. First off, what did you think about the whole scene with her, this burgeoning relationship with Nicole, her girl?
Two things. Obviously, I know that JUKEBOX is prideful, right? So when the girl, obviously, we know she's rich, she goes to a different type of schools in a different type of situation, you know, offers to pay for her, you know, the I think it was a shirt that she wanted. You immediately see her tense up, like she's like, well, like she gets real upset. And if you grew up, like I know we didn't grow up with the most money, right? So I've been in that situation, and it's just it's pride. But at the same time, Jukebox, I think she's in love with this girl. Like you can see her, the way she comes out and she talks to her, she immediately calms down. She centers herself. And there's just something about this relationship that I'm intrigued about, but I'm also sad about because we know who Jukebox becomes. And something tells me it has to do with this. Like something is going to change here with this relationship. The fact that she's in love, I feel like this is going to be the catalyst for what begins the turn in Jukebox. So we saw a lot of her in this episode, but we didn't. Like there was some key things that they gave us about her character. One with this girlfriend, two with the way she hustles, and three with what she witnesses getting off the bus. So it's like we don't hear her. Oh, and four, she can sing her ass off. So there's a lot of different pieces to Jukebox, but I'm really thinking that with this girl is going to be the reason why we see her become a little bit more dark. You know what I mean?
Right. Dale says Jukebox and that singing, it's going to be interesting to see how the uncles and Rock's life will play out. Also, what's the deal between the detective and Rock? We touched about we touched about the detective and Rock before, but that singing was something that was really impactful. And I'm gonna find Ted Simmons. What up, Ted? I loved it when she started singing and all the things were happening. I love that song. I was getting emotional because I truly, genuinely love Whitney Houston. That was one of the most poetically directed things that I've seen in the Power universe, right?
Yeah.
Like she just starts looking, starts looking at the way she gazed at herself. It almost was like the opposite of Issa Rae hyping herself up.
Yeah.
Right? It was almost like she's singing to understand who she is and understand her plight and working on her craft. And while she's singing, we see all the different imagery. We see Rock and Symphony. We see D-WIZ. We see the scenes outside the club. We see everything happening. And even that little part with her singing, and then it zoomed in and zoomed out to Rock's Erin.
Yeah.
I thought that was really a great directed scene. Like that, the cinematography there, it was a nice touch because it almost felt like them old school 90s videos where they would hit those same type of points. So that's something. And she can really, we said this before. We said this before last week, but like, yeah, Haley Kilgore, like she be singing, bro. She be singing.
I mean, we get her name now. It makes 100% sense. Like the girl can sing.
Right. 100%. Let's see what y'all talking about. Let us know what y'all think about Jukebox and her singing. Let her know what you think about the show. Send us your questions too. We'll answer all your questions and we'll get more and more discussion. Started with you, Power After Hours Live. Yo, I loved it when Jukebox pulled up and was selling the jacket right there on the street. Like, yo, y'all gotta understand something about this era. If y'all wasn't like, and I'm not gonna use the whole cliche, you wasn't outside, but if you literally was not around or wasn't outside and didn't realize how it was in the 90s, what you know is like, especially if you're from New York, like Canal Street and Chinatown and Uptown on 125th, and with a lot of bootlegging, there was a lot of bootlegging going on. But 8 times out of 10, when you bought that type of clothes, like shirts, sweatsuits, especially jackets off the street, they were real. And they were real for a reason, because they were hot. And I don't mean hot like it was drip.
They were stolen?
I mean they were stolen. It fell off a truck. Remember that? Remember they used to say, oh, if you got any PS5s that fell off a truck, give me a call. I'll pick it up. And you can see Jukebox is giving him game on how to sell, giving homeboy game on how to sell the jacket. She sold that for $250. And I know it blew people's mind, like, yo, I can't believe that she sold a jacket for $250 off the street. Like, how do you know it was real? Like, yo, there was consequences for selling fake stuff on the street, right? Yeah. And these people were like, it was like markets outside of markets. Like someone could have robbed a store, allegedly, and came out with it and went on another corner and sold what they had. You just knew. So her doing all of this and making all these moves to support her studio time for the recordings that she wanted to do. I just think it's perfect because the same way Kanan's life branched off because of something that happened, the same thing happened to Jukebox. So we trying to see what it is.
I want to know what it is so bad. Like that, this is the one character that I'm just like itching to find out what changed her.
Right. Caribbean Adam says, I adore Jukebox. Something about her is just so pure.
Yes.
It's sad to watch this knowing how she ends up. And I see a lot of y'all, Polo Life Crew, Polo from Scratch, what's up? Yeah. A lot of heavy Ralph Lauren, heavy Hilfiger, Pelly,
Pelly.
jackets. Boss had its time. Yes. Boss had its time. So, you know, there was a lot of stuff, but like that heavy culture of buying stuff off the street.
Yeah.
Listen. All right, let's see. Rainey, I agree about Jukebox turning due to Nicole, but I have a feeling Jukebox is going to get raped, and that is what's going to turn to make her move to DC, become a cop. That's the mystery. Woo. That's some dark shit, right? That's a real dark shit. Like, whoa. But
I had pearls, I clutch them.
Right.
Shit.
But yeah, who knows? Because it's here's the other thing, right? She is also moving in a way where she knows her lifestyle may or may not be accepted.
Yep.
So that's why it's like when you if you saw the cover for Our Live, when Marvin and Kanan pull up, like, yo, you need to ride, she's like, no, I'm good. You don't need to know where I'm going, Dad. You don't need to know where I'm going at all. The way she was singing Whitney Houston in that bathroom definitely confirmed she was in love. Oh
yes.
Oh yeah.
She's still trying to figure out who she is too. I think that's also a part of it. Like she's learning herself through this relationship and knowing that she's in it. Like her dad doesn't know. Because if you recall the previews, like I think after the first episode, when she's sitting on the bed with Rock and she says, please don't tell my dad. So like he probably knows, but she's not had that conversation with him. So, you know, she's caught in a tough place. And I think this girl is really we're seeing that soft side of Jukebox that we never would have imagined could ever have happened when watching her in the original Power. So, you know, I like seeing this side of her. It intrigues me actually more for her character.
Right. And yeah, we see everybody saying the D-Sebs, Carl Kanai, Nautica, Fila Falor, tracksuits. Yeah. It's heavy. It's heavy out there with the fashion and with all of that. So yeah, that's for sure. Let's see what else y'all talking about. As always, keep sending your comments, keep sending your questions. We're gonna keep the conversation going. One thing I want to know, whether or not Jukebox is going to tell anyone that she saw Uncle Lulu pick up D-WIZ and go somewhere with him.
But she knew. Let's be very clear. I think she knows what's happening. You know, everyone knows the streets need a body. They talked about it very openly. She also knew what took place with D-WIZ and Kanan. I think a part of me, her face was like that face of, oh shit, man, I didn't want this to happen, but it's happening. Like, I think she knows what, you know, and unfortunately, I don't know if she'll say anything to Kanan, seeing as though we know how close they are and how, you know, and that relationship tends to get even closer. I think she may say something to him, but that Kanan can't be so naive that he doesn't know.
Right. Remember, he may not be that naive, quote unquote. He's a little naive though. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a little naive. So we're going to have to figure out, or he's going to have to figure it out if he even gets close. Cause I could see it be a situation where, they find him, everybody finds out, and either Jukebox keeps it to herself.
Right.
Or she says something, and it's like, okay, well, yo, Uncle Lulu, where did you go? Where did you go with homeboy? Like, where's my friend? Like, what did you do? What did you do with my friend?
But he could also say, yo, I took him to the club, because he did take him to the club. Now what happened after the club? Because what Lulu could say is that he went to help out Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin did get in that fight, did get locked up. Lulu could use that as an excuse, whereas, I took him to the club, but I ended up having to leave to go save Marvin's ass. I don't know what happened to him after that.
Right. I'm a keep going. Y'all sent a lot of good questions out. Shout out. We gotta tell StreamYard to add like a pin comment thing. So
that would be so dope.
I could get back because all the other functionalities is to block y'all, and I don't want to do that. Not yet. Y'all ain't give me a reason.
Y'all ain't said nothing left yet.
Y'all ain't give me a reason to block y'all yet. But let me see. Now there was a good question. All right, so I'm gonna pull it up. The first one I see, y'all gonna have to forgive me. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, here we go.
I see y'all agreeing with me about my story for Lulu. Yes, Lulu he has an alibi. I'm telling you, he can say, yeah, I picked him up, but I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, where's my man? Here's my man, Jamal Scott. I still think Symphony is 12 of the Jakes. What y'all think about this man, Symphony? I see y'all was cutting up. That's one thing I was seeing with y'all. talking about Symphony and whether or not y'all don't trust him. Like looking in our comments, they don't trust this man at all.
But Rock approached him though.
I mean, LeBerry season, a lot of people on Twitter were saying bartenders were undercover cops in the 90s. Can y'all explain that? I was born in 96, so that went over my head.
God, you were born in 96?
Wow. I'm about to turn into a skeleton while reading these comments. Like y'all was really like inside of y'all wasn't outside, y'all were inside of wombs.
Yeah, y'all was inside. Y'all are some babies. Y'all don't see this gray hair in my head.
Welcome to Power After Hours, where we feel old and you are rejuvenated with nostalgia.
That's the new tagline, nigga.
Yo, that's all Raising Kanan. It's gonna be Power Book 3. We old. So
no, they were undercover. Like if you ever go back and watch like documentaries from like back in the day, even like in the mob days and stuff, the bartenders was always the ones that was doing the snitching. So that I would kind of. I may believe that he was put there for that reason because Symphony's a very smart dude, but Rock approached him, right? Man, that's tough.
I mean, at this point with Power, you have to keep your eyes open for everything that's going on. So I could see it being, but for now, I take him at his word. I think he's just a dude who was at the bar who saw a woman that he liked, right? And he's making moves. I like how Marvin rolled up and pressed him out. Yes. And like I told you, there's certain things that they say that's like so 90s of the moment. So like he rolls up, Marvin trolls him, and he's like, "Yo, I'll fuck you up." And he's like, "I don't think you will." So man, that's mad dark skin of you. Like I'm just playing. Like it's just that whole dark skin, light skin thing. Yeah. Like this is one of those things where when younger millennials and Gen Z watch stuff from the old time, you're gonna see it's gonna be problematic, is going to trend all throughout your group chats. But yeah, like that colorism stuff, it wasn't even looked at as I'm trying to put you down.
No,
but because of they were. But it was like, it was so commonplace to call things like acting light skin, acting dark skin in that time that it was like, yo, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, dark skinned dudes, light skinned dudes alike. Like, I've heard some stuff in my time, especially that time back then. But that would be perfectly encapsulate how somebody, like two dudes from the street would talk to each other, and or anybody really with those type of conversations, no matter what your walk of life. But I don't know. I'm more trusting than y'all. Maybe I'm more trusted than y'all.
I think you are.
I don't know. You think he's a Fed? You think he's police?
No, I don't think he's a Fed. I'm not sure about him yet. Like what got me is when he was like, I want to take it slow. And Rock was like, man, fuck that noise. Like, and she was like, undress, pop one button, pop the next one. Let's go. I was like, okay, this bitch got some time. She had time on that day. Okay. Right.
She don't work by the hour. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, sis was ready. She was ready.
You know, speaking of, you know what I'm saying? Not working Not working by the hour. We're gonna get this in a second. I want to see if my brother. Oh, do the comments? Oh man, you gotta get these comments. You gotta get these comments in early. I mean, I gotta get these comments in early because I guess at past a certain time I can't scroll back up to add y'all comments to the feed. But
that's
shout out to whoever on the feed said that D-WIZ got both his heads busted open.
Listen, he had a good night.
Yo,
okay, like during that scene, he looked like somebody who was a virgin. He couldn't handle it. He was trying to handle it, and he just couldn't. Jesus, he had a good night. I mean, if that's how you're gonna go out, God bless.
Right, and that's where when Lulu picked him up and was like, "Yo, you gonna have the time of your life. We bringing you to the club." Well, yeah, it was DJ Food and Drake talking about the foolishness. I knew it was you. I knew it had to be you, brother. I knew it had to be you.
It's always him.
Yeah, right. But you know, it was funny because he picks him up, and even when she had said we gotta do a Reggie Jackson, you could see him visibly uncomfortable. And he kind of carried it throughout the night. He picks him up. He convinces him that Kanan's going to be at the spot. They go over there. You know, he's in the club with him. He pays Shorty to go in the back, and break him off, and then takes him under. And it was so sad because you could see it throughout the night, just him conflicting. And shout out to Malcolm M. Mays, who plays Lulu.
Yeah,
he gave such like an emotional performance of somebody who did not want to do this. He didn't want to do it at all, but he knew it was business. And even when they were under the trestle or whatever, and they're pissing, and he's like, "Yo, I'm having the time of my life. K missed out. Yo, I'm about to tell him what happened, blah, blah, blah." And you know, it's like one of those, you going back like, "Yo, your uncle had me in the club. Like, I was just going to watch New Jack City."
Right.
And you know, and he ends up dead. You know what I'm saying? And he does it. And even when Lulu hangs up the phone and was like, "Home run," he kind of did it and just hung up because he was disgusted with himself. What did you think about that?
That's hard to watch. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, he's her right-hand man. He's used to doing all the dirty things, but having to kill a kid is a whole different ballgame. Like, and then you know, not only are you killing him, you're killing him as he's talking about how happy he is. You know what I mean? He's looking you in your eye as you are pulling that trigger. He didn't want to do it. And I really think we're going to see the ramifications of that decision as we go forward, because doing things like that, if we know anything from the past, when you want somebody to kill somebody that they don't want to kill, they end up having some sort of resentment. Mm-hmm. So at some point, this is going to blow back on Rock. I feel like, I don't know if there was another decision that could have been made. I just don't know if this was the right decision. And it's unfortunate that Lulu's the one who had to be the executioner in this situation, because I think he's gonna resent her for that, because it's gonna haunt him.
I think Kanan eventually finds out what happened. They explain to him what it is, and that's going to teach him at a young age that every move you make, you reap what you sow, actions, reactions, and all of that talk, right? You're gonna see the consequences of your decisions play out in real time with this street shit. Yeah, that was your man, but this is what happens. Sometimes you have to make a calculated decision, not based on emotion, but based on logic, no matter how fucked up it is. And this may be one of the things or one of the experiences that informs how he moves from this point forward.
Maybe he'll man up.
Right. Let us know what y'all think about that, what you think about Kanan's situation, how he recovers from this, or does he find out? If he finds out, how does he recover, and the whole situation? Also, Lulu and that performance. Let me see. I saw.
Let's be very clear. We don't know what Kanan is capable of here. Okay. At some point we know he becomes a ruthless killer, but let's not act like he didn't kill his own seed in power. So we don't know what he could do and retaliate with up in this show. Okay.
Right. That's true. Like, where does the turn from this Kanan to the Kanan we know? When does that happen? When does that actually happen? D. Smith, could D-WIZ brother be Breeze? That would be a cool twist. That would be a cool twist, but then that means that Breeze ends up becoming the person who's unique, who wins out, or who ends up picking the pieces up between the battle between Unique and Rock. So I'm interested in that. I don't know what's
it's a lot of outstanding characters right now, by the way. The brother, we've got Jukebox Mother. We don't know nothing about that. There's quite a few outstandings we don't know about at this time.
Right. Jamal says, where's Juke's mom? That's a big part of the story. Yeah, we haven't heard that. We haven't heard that yet. Right. Rainey says it could be Breeze because that may be why Kanan goes under his wing with the betrayal of his fam. DJ Food and Drink. Do y'all think this causes Lulu to turn on Rock down the road?
Turn on her, I don't know. Resent, absolutely, because he did not want to do that.
Right. Shout out to Deshanship. I watched this episode twice because I didn't understand the Jackson reference, but when the hit happened, I was like, damn, messed me up too. Yeah. Like it was real. Like we saw we saw a lot of like cutthroat decisions, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's like really shakes things up. Robert Moon, Kanan will use his friend sister to help set up Lulu later this series for revenge for Wiz. I don't know because we know who Kanan is, but I don't know if that turn happens immediately. Because if it happens that quick, take a while. There has to be a tipping point. Because remember, he's a kid. So if they tell him like, yo, that was your friend, but y'all did this, it would have been you if it would have been him. So which one did you want? You might have wanted neither, but the shit wasn't going to stop. And I feel like that's how they're going to explain it to him. I don't know if he goes after him. Now, if he goes after somebody else or they do something different, then maybe. But I don't know if that's what it's going to be. I saw a good question. Let's see. Ahmed. I feel like Symphony and Rock reminded me of Ghost and Angie, so him being a cop isn't far-fetched, to be honest. I wonder if they would go back to the well on that. I mean, I don't know, but I'm interested to check that out. What up?
Yeah, but Ghost knew who Angie was.
That's the difference. So yeah, there's levels to it, but I mean, I think what y'all are picture for the most part isn't that far-fetched. What up, Greenfly? We're going to talk about Kanan pushing up on Buck 20's girlfriend swiftly after being involved in killing him. Girl can't even grieve properly, was giving real Tommy popping up on at Angela's funeral vibes.
But D-WIZ tried to holler too. They was both. And when she was in school about to fight, D-WIZ was trying to holler too. And she was like,
hey, look, life keeps on going, right? You can't grieve forever. That's how they looking at it.
Shit,
yo, high school boys don't give a fuck. And they're like, oh, she's single? Yo, her boyfriend just died. Oh, so he not around no boy?
Y'all ain't shit.
Oh, man, yo, they was on it. And once again, the audacity to pull up to somebody after you had a hand in killing their loved one and console them.
It came all the way to the principal's office to be like, I'm just so sorry you're going through this. Nigga.
Damn, that must have been really tough for you. What did you think about the that fight scene with the girls fighting, with Davina fighting over
Davina got hand.
Yo, that was, you want to talk about a flashback? Yo, if they could have put girl fights in high school on pay-per-view, they would have made millions of dollars.
Best fights
millions
ever.
of dollars. It was like knockdown, drag out. It was like watching MMA, WWE, and the fourth quarter of the NBA finals all at the same time.
Because we do everything. We kick, we punch, we grab, we spit, we hit. We do it all, honey. Okay?
Bruh, it's like...
And don't have your hair outside of a ponytail. And if it isn't a ponytail, I'm still going to grab that ponytail and drag it down the hallway. We got hands.
Nobody trying to jump in. Because then if somebody tries to jump in, it becomes a battle royal.
Oh, yeah,
not everybody. Whole school fighting. Oh, well.
No, somebody tried. The best part is when somebody tries to jump in and you and the person that was fighting, and it's like, who the fuck is this? And then both y'all team up and beat that person's ass because they shouldn't have jumped in to begin with.
Mind your business. Mind your business.
Hey, I've never fought a day in my life.
Oh, this is big lies, but okay. We gonna tell lies. You gonna lie to the people. That's nuts. What's up, Brandon? I can't even do it anymore. What's up, Brandon? The irony in giving someone the best night of their life, quote unquote, and proceeding to make it their last. Yo, Some street shit. That's some street shit right there. Like that was almost like his mea culpa to D-WIZ before having to kill him. Like, yo, if I gotta take this kid out, I'm gonna let his at least the memories coming up to that be awesome for him. You know, it's just tough. It's really tough to see that happen. Like it's I don't like seeing kids lose their life. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like nothing like that. I don't like seeing kids lose their life. I don't even see anybody lose their life. But I don't like seeing kids lose their life. No, but that's rough. And that whole situation, it just shows me like maybe he has his own code. And I think code is something that's prevalent across this. Everybody has their own code, and he more or less crossed his code to do this. But this is a crossable thing, so it was a little jarring. I ain't gonna front.
I don't like to see that. But then again, I didn't like to see Kanan kill his own son either. So there's that. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, no one is safe in the Power universe. Y'all gonna learn. No one is safe.
Nobody.
If you see them, they can die. Oh, we didn't even talk about Davina and this little child. She lugging around.
Oh, you mean her
some people are insinuating that could be her daughter.
Oh God. Every young black girl with a kid in the hood did that ain't a kid.
Well, I was waiting for somebody to say, is that Ghost? Because you know y'all love doing that. Y'all go so far left. Don't make no sense.
The baby's Mephisto. That's what y'all gonna say now. That's what y'all gonna say next. Yo, we about to wrap up in a second. Any final questions y'all have? Any projections for episode 3? Put them in the chat. We're gonna take a few more and get out of here. Once again, you already know the vibes. Follow Power After Hours, all social media platforms. Subscribe anywhere you get podcasts. So, Krissy, what do you think? What do you think is going on with episode 3? I see there's more Detective Howard. This fallout. Like, what do you think is going down?
Yeah, I want to see more of Detective Howard. I think we're going to start to see what his vendetta against Rock actually is. I think that relationship has got to come to the forefront because they're dropping little seeds every episode. Like now, the fact that he's met with Unique, he could be a dirty cop. I really don't know. There's a lot of open questions there. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Again, JUKEBOX, just because obsessed with her character now at this point, never thought we'd be here. And Kanan's reaction to losing his best friend.
Yeah, I'm in, man. I'm in. It's so dope to have a show based off of an area of where you grew up and like your overall area. And like I always said, like I am not from Southside, but I am from South Jamaica, Queens. I'm from Southeast Queens, and my part, Queens Village and Cambria Heights and Hollis and all those areas. Like we're all intertwined. So it's like if you were here, you've been over there. So it's just dope to see the visuals and everything. And this, I once again, I love the fact that this prequel gives an opportunity to tell different types of stories, right? Different types of stories and bring us characters that we haven't seen yet and be able to build off of the history that you already have. So a lot of people, and I see the overall reaction. Let us know if you're watching this on replay. Comment along with us. We'll answer all of those too in real time, or your real time, our later time. In the chat, we love y'all for keep going. Deshan Sip, Miss Coffee 123. They say this is their first time here. They
welcome.
They'll be back. It was great. Like, thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for representing for us and representing the comments and riding with us. Like you know, there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of things, lot of things streaming. So y'all come and join us for a little while and talk about one of our favorite shows. You already know the vibes. We love it. Rainy, be next here, Bad Fam in Queens, but hardly went long ass ride. You know what? You know what's funny about that? If you're talking about ride on public transportation, you got it. But BX in Queens is a straight shot on the Throg's Neck, like that Throg's Neck to the Cross Island. Like it's actually BX and Queens are actually closer to each other driving by car than you would think. Like it's a straight shot. You go one highway, boom, you're there. So
I don't know a lot of people that drive in New York though.
Well, if you're in the non-Manhattan boroughs, you
Okay.
can have a car.
Okay.
You know, some parts of Brooklyn, it just doesn't make sense. But people do have cars. It's just it's not as prevalent because it's not as much of a necessity as it is like in Atlanta, like it is in LA and places like that. So oh, Aiden, what's up? Oh, got
Hey!
breaking 30
Breaking
new
news.
subs. All 30. Thank you. My 30 exquisite, exceptional people who have joined us on this Power After Hours
Is this
journey.
Game of Thrones? Like, what the?
You are appreciated. Gratitude for your indulgence in
Shame.
cocaine-fueled entertainment.
I feel like we should be ringing the bell. Shame. Like,
No,
why
no.
are you talking like that?
No shame for them. It's nothing but
Shame for you.
adoration. It's never shame for me. How could you shame the man that brings you this type of entertainment, Miss Krissy Bree?
Save us.
You can't. You can't. You can't. You can't and you can't. Real quick, random. Not an endorsement, but if you're looking for something weird to stream, this Sexy Beast shit on Netflix. I don't know if you saw it. It's like people go on blind dates dressed up as
I've been wanting to watch.
monsters and shit. Yo,
Is it good?
it's worth the watch. It's only 6 episodes, 20-something minutes per episode. You're gonna watch and say, "Why the fuck am I watching this?" And why
watch
can't I
tonight.
stop? And why can't I stop? Yo, it's different. Whoever produced and pitched that show, they were off a whole bean. They must have been dropping acid and all of that. I don't know, but
Netflix be knowing because Love is Blind last summer caught me. So now we gonna go into this summer with this. I saw the preview for that. I was like, I want to watch that, but I didn't know it dropped already. I'm in.
Yeah, shout out to Alexis for dragging me and Kelly into this. But we're here.
I'm with Kelly. What accent here. Was that? Because it was awful.
Oh my God. You know what? On that note, because my dialects are not appreciated, you know what is appreciated, Miss Krissy Bree?
What?
Guess what's appreciated?
What?
The people who watch this show.
Oh, we love y'all.
Who listen. If it's one thing we can agree on, we love y'all.
Yeah.
Can't agree on nothing else.
No.
But we love y'all. So thank you so much for joining us. You see it on the screen. You're going to hear it over the airwaves. Power After Hours, Instagram, Twitter. Twitter is where we carry the live tweet conversation, all types of things of power. On Instagram, you can see the sights and sounds from the cast and from us too. If you are here for the first time and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you're watching this after, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you like podcasts, we're on all the podcast platforms. And if we're not on one that you use, hit me up and I'll get us on it. So we're wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're going to be doing these more live. Like I like this interaction.
Me too.
And it also makes it a little bit more easier on the back end with production.
Okay, producer.
It makes it a little bit easier. So it's selfishly and also because I like talking to y'all in real time. But
Same.
for those that we don't get to in real time, powerafterhourspod@gmail.com. You can shoot us an email and hit us with your questions. Hit us with comments on YouTube. We're literally everywhere for y'all.
We are.
Everywhere for y'all. And before we go, I wanted to shout out to YBI_Coach K on IG. We keep the conversation going. We answer all the messages and stuff that y'all send us. We were talking about Jukebox's nickname last week. And he passed on that Jukebox got her nickname because she could imitate anyone on the radio. She told that to Tariq in season 4 when she kidnapped him. I forgot about that, which is a tie back to her singing the Whitney Houston song. Like this is how people realize, oh, she can sing because she can sing and she was actually being able to copy the people that she emulates. She's able to emulate.
I told you I'm gonna go back and watch. Remember, I told you last week I need to go back and watch those seasons because I feel like there's things that I miss now that are gonna make sense.
Right.
Great.
Thank you, Kelly. Kelly says y'all are the best. My favorite place to be after watching all things Power. Thank you so much, and thank y'all too. Everybody done left us, Krissy, and we talking to ourselves. Krissy, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Krissy B Davis everywhere, specifically Twitter at 8 p.m. on Sunday nights. I live tweet while Jeff watches wrestling. So y'all come let me come hang out. Let's live tweet together Sunday nights at 8. But that's where you can find me everywhere. Krissy B. Davis.
And you got services, don't you? Let's not do this. What you got? You got services, right, to offer?
What services?
I'm not even being funny. I'm not even being funny. Like what you do? I'm trying to promote. You know what? Heard you. Nope. See, I try to uplift the black woman and try to get her some business. Heard you. No, you good. You straight, right? You straight? Or you want to do this
asshole. Job? You are all around asshole.
I'm an asshole. Cares.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. Move on. And when you get that shirt, I want you to rip it up and throw it in the trash. You don't deserve. I'm wearing
it as soon as I get it, and I'm wearing it on this show.
Don't deserve.
I am Jeff J Says on all social. You will be listening to this tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Or matter of fact, I'll get it up now for those who y'all listening on the pod. Once again, thank you for everybody who's joining. For us next week, for those of y'all who are going to be watching the replay or listening after, we should be on Tuesday.
Word.
We could do the live. We'll do the live on Tuesday. That's going to be a programming change. But I hope y'all troll us. I hope y'all troll us on Monday and ask us to come through, because I love that, because that's the energy. That means that y'all want to be with us. So we love it.
And you right, DJ Food and Drink. I was about to throw them hands because Jeff tried me. But yeah, that's right.
Just understand that I tried her, quote unquote. I tried to promote your business.
That wasn't a good intro. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Don't you got services?
Bro, I thought you was trying to be funny because I was talking about Sunday. I thought you was talking about church. I didn't know what you was talking.
I'll say it in Creole next time. All right, y'all. We are out of here. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching this after the fact. Leave your comments. Send your emails. Hit us up on social. And we will talk to you next week. Have a great rest of your day.
Peace.